We have some major Toronto Raptors updates as Scottie Barnes' return is looking imminent, according to a recent report, and we have multiple updates in regards to Immanuel Quickley, Bruce Brown, and other guys on the roster, so we'll discuss that as Masai Ujiri's vision for this roster might finally be being put together, and the future of that vision is looking very strong as well, as Ulrich Chomche is once again taking advantage of an opportunity and is looking good out there for the Raptors 905. So we're going to break all of that down in this video, but before we do, folks, again, if you guys are a part of the over 67% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, and you want that daily Toronto Raptors news coverage, and you're tuning in the vids, been out there in the viewer section, comment section, where the heck you are, and you haven't hit the subscribe button, it's free. Check it out down below. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on. But let's dive into the news. Let's dive into the madness, what's been happening, as this frankly worked out perfect for the Toronto Raptors, as news came out, broke it down earlier in the week, that the Toronto Raptors ended up losing one of their top prospects that weren't officially on the roster, one of the top G League guys in Brandon Carlson, as he ended up getting scooped up by the Oklahoma City Thunder. And this obviously sucks to lose a guy in your prospect pool, and obviously, some people were frustrated. I called him a prospect. He was on the Raptors 905, like that's what he was, and now he's gone. Now he's on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he had that opportunity, but the one implication that this had in regards to what Brandon Carlson leaving really had an impact on was the minutes that were available out there for the 905 right now, because again, we have a guy out there on this 905 team that a lot of Raptors fans are very invested in, and that is Ulrich Chomche, because this man has obviously the raw potential, the skills to really be dominant out there in the NBA if things all come together. Obviously, it's a risk. It's not a sure thing. We've had projects in the past that didn't pan out, but, when you have that athleticism, when you have the intangibles, when you have the speed that this guy has out there at that center position, it's a risk worth taking. It's a guy you want to develop and see if things can really come together. And now with Brandon Carlson gone, there's more opportunities for Ulrich Chomche to really have an impact out there on this team. And taking advantage of it. Yeah, this man is taking advantage of it here. We can take a look at the stats. We can take a look at what's been going on, because in the most recent games, again, he's had an up and down. This man is a project. This is the reality. This is, you're getting some good games, some bad games, but his most recent outing, Ulrich Chomche put in 16 points on very efficient, 73% shooting from the field. Not flexing the three-point shot much lately, but had seven rebounds and 2 assists, 1 steal, and 6 blocks in this game. Yes, he still had 4 fouls. Yes, he's fouling a little bit. Yes, he is a project. He is a project. We'll say this 1,000 times over. But Ulrich Chomche on the defensive end, his energy, his motor, his athleticism, as things start coming together, as he gets more reps, more opportunities, that is going to be huge for him to really just come into his own as a basketball player. So the fact that he's coming out, putting up solid stat lines already in his early NBA career, he was signed to a 2-year, 2-way contract. That tells you this team is going to be patient. This team is going to let him develop, let him have bad nights, let him have good nights out there in the G League squad. But what he's showing is very, very exciting as a Toronto Raptors fan. Not going to get ahead of ourselves saying he's a guaranteed star player, a guaranteed, W. Throw him on the roster right now, start him over Jakob Poeltl. So some people get carried away with stuff like that. He's a development project. He is that. But I am very, very excited with the development, with what he's been able to do for this Raptors 905 team, in his stretches out there on the court. So positive stuff there for Ulrich Chomche, but moving our eyes to guys that are on the roster but aren't playing, as Chomche's on the roster, but on the Toronto Raptors main roster, we have some injury updates for a lot of guys out there on the main team here now at this point, as Scottie Barnes, obviously the most intriguing player, the guy people are most excited about to see coming into the season. And we got a lot of injury updates over the past 24 hours now, which we'll dive into right here at this point. Essentially, through 15 contests, the Raptors have lost a shocking 71 man games due to injury. For context, only one team, the Memphis Grizzlies, has lost more. The Houston Rockets have only lost 9. So that's how many players have been out, ruled out of games due to injury. The recently committed north of $400 million to Scottie Barnes and Immanuel Quickley, who have shared the court for just 10 minutes this season, aren't likely to be reunited until mid-December at the earliest. Barnes, Quickley, and RJ Barrett haven't played together since March 1st, dating back to last season. Those three have logged a total of 4 minutes with Jakob Poeltl and a new fifth starter, Gradey Dick. building the chemistry and continuity amongst a group was the top priority for the season, and not being able to do that and properly evaluate the team that they already have in place is undoubtedly disappointing. So again, Josh Lewenberg put in some context, the injury situations that have been going on, but we got an exciting announcement regarding Scottie Barnes, as he has been cleared for contact and was a full participant in practice today. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, and sounds like he'll be questionable against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So very, very exciting news to have Scottie Barnes back into the lineup, because again, Scottie is a crucial piece for this team, averaging 19, 8, and 6. Not a ton of games over the course of the season, but this is a big development year for Scottie, regardless of we're winning games or not. Scottie Barnes needs to continue to get reps, continue to get games where he is the focal point of the other team's defense, right? That's what the reality, what we need for Scottie Barnes. And the fact that he's going to be back into the lineup very, very soon, questionable for tomorrow's game, is a huge positive for this team. And then we have more updates in regards to, Scottie, as essentially he said, his eye was very sore the first few days, but it feels better, no pain, even though it's still red. His plan is to play with goggles as a precaution, and it's going to for sure take some time getting used to. Said peripheral vision is going to be the biggest adjustment, wearing them in practice. And we have a picture that came out of Scottie Barnes in terms of how he's looking. You could see his eye there. It's still a little bit crazy looking and, scary. They're letting him play, but he says it's not hurting. He says it's fine. They have the goggles on for precaution. Obviously, we don't want to risk anything to a guy's face or orbital or anything that they have going on there. It's crucial, not just for basketball, but for life function. But Scottie Barnes, hoping that he's healthy, he's good, and it'll be exciting to see him play against a good team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Get reps against the good squads. And as Josh Lewenberg put it, getting more opportunities, more run for, the top guys, the people that Masai Ujiri invested in for the future of this franchise to be able to play together, including Immanuel Quickley, Scottie Barnes, and all these types of guys. But we have more updates in regards to other players that have been out for injury, as like Barnes, Bruce Brown, and Jacoby Walter return to practice as full participants, though they'll need a longer ramp up. Especially Bruce Brown, who's been out since before training camp. Kelly Olynyk was limited participant, no contact yet, and Immanuel Quickley is still sidelined. So again, as Josh Lewenberg put it, we can't expect Immanuel Quickley back till mid-December. Scottie Barnes' return is looking more and more imminent, but Bruce Brown, Jacoby Walter are guys that are going to need a little bit more of a ramp-up than Scottie Barnes, who obviously wasn't dealing with, an injury that kept him from, cardio, from different stuff like that, and Barnes is playing more recently than these guys too. Jacoby Walter, Bruce Brown. Jacoby Walter played a couple games there, but obviously missed most of training camp, and missed a large stretch at the start of the season. So him and Bruce Brown, while they're practicing right now, obviously to be playing at an NBA level, to be playing, that full pace that you get out there in actual game action, it's you get a little bit of a ramp up. So good news on Bruce Brown, positive news, because again, we weren't hearing much outside the Kelly Olynyk Bruce Brown camp, but still no major progress for Kelly Olynyk, but good to see just the whole roster, the whole rotation looking good. And again, I know a lot of people are pushing for this team to come out here, and I'm getting the wrong visuals up, but to capture the flag, to take some L's and losses. And I saw some people disappointed we beat the Indiana Pacers, but this team is young, this team is developing, and I'm not going to complain if the Raptors do go on a crazy run, win a ton of games with their whole core group. But again, that might be optimistic, given how young, given how fresh, babyface this team is here now at this point. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys are the best thing as far as subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.